Well, today marks 70 years since the U.S. Supreme Court handed down the landmark Brown versus the Board of Education ruling. And you might remember that ruling struck down the doctrine of separate but equal and looked to end segregation in schools.
That's right, but a new analysis from the Associated Press, it suggests in the decades since this decision, schools in the U.S. are in some ways more segregated than before. 11 Alive's Kara Spelger spoke with local educators and historians about why.
Husband and wife, a child brought to life, a boy, a girl must conquer the world. Recognize his face, I belong to what race? Black, white, or yellow? Woman or fellow?
The only thing historian Catherine Love recalls easier than this rhyme.
Other worlds to take a glance. And I can see, though you were born free, we're the same, you and me.
Is Atlanta's educational history.
The governor of Georgia, he wanted to close, he said, we'll close all the schools before we let one Negro go to a school with white kids. They weren't going to have that.
That moment, she says, was immediately after a climactic Supreme Court decision, Brown versus Board of Education.
When the decision came, everybody was just super happy. We'll have better buildings. We're going to have what everything that the white children have. Wrong.
That one victory, she recalls, led to more battles in Metro Atlanta and across Georgia.
There were 10 finally chosen to desegregate. They had to be almost proverbial geniuses. They had to be tested on math and science and history.
9 would go on to integrate the schools, she says, and 70 years later, in some ways, she tells me children and their parents are still fighting for fair resources, and most of them come from communities of color. A recent Associated Press analysis shows large swaths of Black and Hispanic students across the country still go to schools that are almost entirely made up of students of color. The numbers show schools where students of color compose more than 90% of the student body are 5 times more likely to be located in low-income areas. Some teachers, like Sergeant Sandra Davis, admit 70 years after Brown v. Board, there's still progress to be made in terms of education.
We've come a long way, but we have a long way to go.
She says she tries to ensure all her students know they can write their own stories and that the chapters are richer with diverse perspectives. In Clayton County, Kara Spelger, 11 Alive News.